The United Kingdom has always been one of the most popular destinations for international migrants, especially students, skilled workers, and families searching for better opportunities. But starting in 2025, a major policy change has shaken this dream: the ban on dependents for certain visa categories. This decision, widely debated in political and migrant communities, has left thousands of families separated, uncertain, and worried about their future. In today's video, we'll break down what exactly the new dependent ban is, why the UK government introduced it, who is most affected, the real-life consequences on migrant families, comparisons with other countries, and what the future may look like. So stay with us until the end to fully understand the human and political side of this dramatic shift. For decades, the UK has relied on international students and skilled migrants to fill gaps in its economy and higher education sector. With a strong reputation for top universities and high-paying jobs, the UK attracted millions of migrants each year. Previously, students on postgraduate courses, skilled workers, and even health and social care professionals could bring their dependents, meaning spouses and children, with them. This not only made the UK attractive but also helped migrants settle more comfortably. But over time, political pressure started to build. The UK government faced criticism for rising net migration figures. Opposition parties and local communities began asking tough questions. Was the system being abused? Were migrants putting pressure on housing, healthcare, and schools? And was family migration being used as a loophole? These questions slowly set the stage for what would become one of the toughest restrictions in recent UK immigration history. In early 2025, the Home Office announced a dependent visa ban for most international students and certain categories of skilled workers. This means that unless you are pursuing a research-based postgraduate degree or working in specific shortage sectors, you cannot bring your family members with you to the UK. The official reasoning? To control net migration and ensure that the student route remains focused on education, not family settlement. But behind this reasoning lies a more complex picture: pressure from the public to reduce migration numbers. Rising housing shortages in major cities like London, Birmingham, and Manchester. Strain on the National Health Service, NHS, and schools. Political promises made by leaders to take back control of borders after Brexit. This new rule mainly impacts three groups: international students, especially those enrolling in taught master's programs or undergraduate studies. While earlier they could bring spouses and children, now they must travel alone. Skilled workers outside shortage list. Many professionals who once had the right to bring dependents will now have to leave their families behind. Migrants from developing countries. Students from India, Nigeria, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and African nations are among the hardest hit, as many relied on family support while studying abroad. Imagine leaving your spouse and children behind for 2 to 4 years. The emotional cost is huge, and for many, it changes the entire calculation of whether studying or working in the UK is worth it. Behind the headlines are real people. Pushpin, for example, a student from Nigeria planning to do her master's in London, now faces the heartbreaking choice of leaving her husband and toddler behind. She says, "Education is important, but how can I concentrate if I can't see my child grow up?" Pushpin, a skilled worker from India who secured a job in Manchester in IT, shared his pain. "I was excited to build a future here, but now I must choose between career and family. It doesn't feel fair." Pushpin, even universities are worried. They fear that this policy will reduce student numbers, especially from countries where family togetherness is culturally very important. Fewer students mean less tuition revenue, and the UK higher education sector already faces financial challenges. The human cost goes beyond emotions. Families split across continents struggle with extra expenses, maintaining 2 households, frequent flights, and visa renewals. Children grow up without seeing one parent for years. And mental health issues like stress, anxiety, and loneliness rise among migrants. Unsurprisingly, the dependent ban has sparked heated debate. Supporters argue it is necessary to protect public services, reduce migration, and prioritize British citizens. Critics call it cruel, discriminatory, and short-sighted, saying it will damage the UK's reputation as a welcoming country. Human rights groups warn that separating families violates international norms. Universities lobby the government to reconsider. But politicians, facing upcoming elections, remain firm, as migration numbers are a hot-button issue. Let's put this in context. Canada still allows dependents for many students and workers, although proof of funds is higher. Australia permits dependents but with strict financial requirements. USA allows dependents for certain visas like F1 and H1B, but with limits on work rights. So while the UK is not the only country to impose restrictions, the suddenness and scale of its dependent ban make it particularly tough. For many migrants, it feels like the UK is closing its doors just when they were beginning to rebuild after Brexit and COVID-19. Will this dependent ban remain forever? That depends on politics and economics. If universities suffer financially, or if skilled worker shortages worsen, the government may be forced to relax the rules again. But if migration numbers remain high and public pressure grows, the ban could become a permanent part of the UK's immigration framework. For migrants, the key is to adapt. Some may look to other countries, Canada, Australia, Germany, where family migration is still easier. Others may decide to study online or pursue education at home. The UK dependent ban of 2025 is more than just a policy update. It is a life-changing shift that has left thousands of migrants heartbroken. Behind every statistic lies a family, a dream, and a sacrifice. The UK government may argue this is about numbers, but for migrants, it is about love, unity, and survival. So the big question remains, White right-pointing backhand index, will the UK remain a top destination for migrants without family-friendly policies? White right-pointing backhand index, or will students and skilled workers take their talents, and their families, elsewhere? Only time will tell.